Oh, come, Sergeant.
Heretics.
Calling yourself a community that cares.
Oh, but we do care, Nicholas.
It's all about
The greater good. The greater good.
How can this be for the greater good?
The greater good.
You see, as much as I enjoyed your wild theories, Sergeant, the truth is far less complex.
How can this be for the greater good?
The greater good.
Shut it!
Take a wild guess at one of my favorite NES games is. Oh, goodness gracious. It is Tuesday. And I was meaning to stream yesterday, but I did not get around to it. I was not really feeling super hot. But today I'm feeling much better. And I've been getting some things done as best I can. But sadly, that also means that, like, my office is getting messy again. So tomorrow, whenever I get up, I'm going to be cleaning all this again. Why is my... incredibly disorganized. But I got a lot of stuff to work on. So it will be interesting. So Kirby 64. Well, Leo, how could a Nintendo 64 game be on the NES? Anyway, so busy as all get out. But there is cool stuff happening, which is always good. So let's talk about that. So what I got done today, found out for some fucking reason, Mixum, their computer system is not put together to where they can ship a bunch of books to a bunch of people, so I have to get in touch with my fulfillment guy to mail everything out. Dusort renews his membership, says, how are you doing? What do you have in stock for future videos? So what's going on with that? That's actually what I was going to talk about. Future video stuff is pretty predictable, to be honest with you. I have another video about how fucked up Iron-Blooded Orphans is on the docket. We're doing another short one to close out the month. That is, basically Gundam explained in memes. And I actually have a preview of that I'm going to show off here in a minute. But then after that, we're finally getting to the first Neo Zeon War. And I'm really looking forward to getting that one out of the way, but it's going to take a while. I'm not at 50k subs yet. The road to 50k means we're not there yet. Like, if you're on the road to something, you haven't reached the destination. I see that your name is all in Russian, so I'm assuming that that might not be a turn of phrase over there. I don't know. But yes, we're not there yet. So don't congratulate me on something I haven't done yet. But regardless, we are on the road to it. So we're going to talk a little bit about that, kind of talk about plans. But the question that I have about that, when we get there, can I take a week off? Do you guys care if I take like a week off? Just a week where I do like nothing? Because fuck, I'm tired. I have so much shit going on. I have videos that we're working on. I have I'm trying to get these books out to customers. I'm trying to get Inglewood out to customers. I have to get the next cyberpunk book or cyberpop book out there. I'm tired. Like, I was just realizing that today. Like, I sat down to start on work, and I got most of what I wanted to get done today finished. But I realized, like, it's really hard for me to get up and actually, like, script my own videos now. And I was like, whoa, I haven't had this in a while. And the last time I had it, I had really bad burnout. And I'm like, that's probably what's going on here. So if we keep up pace with the videos, we should be done by, or we should hit 50k by sometime next month. I will show you guys where we're at. because we cracked 49K yesterday while I was sleeping. Also, this is really refreshing. I don't know if you guys have ever had vanilla Coke. It's not my favorite soft drink. My favorite soft drink will always be Pepsi. That might be number 2. And cherry Coke is number 3. But let me pull this up real quick. That's my notes for Masters of Lore. Which that's another thing I can tell you guys about. The next podcasts that we're going to be doing, I'll read them out to you real quick. But this right here is my current sub count. Right here. So we're a little under 49,100. So that is that's interesting. How excited are you for the Strike Wars? Does it oddly enough, Brown, I was actually going to talk about my appearance on FFS here in a second. Fill me in though, buddy. What's going on with that? I don't know what Liam's doing at this point. I don't pay that much attention to him. But Masters of Lore stuff, what we have for that is the next episode. Sure Dude is doing an episode based purely on video game original mobile suits. Then I was asked to do an episode on Space Marine chapter initiations. After that, we're doing an episode on mobile armors, on whether or not they're actually useful. The 13th episode will be about the Imperial Navy and how it works. The 14th, we don't know. And then the 15th will be about the fall of Cadia. So, got some pretty good stuff in the pipeline for that. So yeah. It's always when you're sleeping. It basically is. It's a theme with me. Like, when I'm awake, the world is at peace. When I fall asleep, everything falls apart. Vanilla Pepsi is ballin'? I didn't know Vanilla Pepsi was a thing. I'm gonna have to look into that. See if I can find some. The Barbatos video was amazing. Well, I'm glad you liked it, Ronan. I was pretty happy with it once we finished it. But yeah, road to 50K. So I have your guys' permission that... Oh, it's something you have to make yourself. Okay. But I have your guys' permission. Once I hit 50,000, I can take a week off. So I'm going to. I'm absolutely taking a week off. Because, Jesus. I am just... Like, this next month, like, my goal by the end of March is to have Inglewood and American Monsters completely fulfilled. And then after that's done, I can just focus on like production of my own work. Which I finished a rewrite yesterday, 2 days ago, something like that. And yeah. That made me pretty happy to actually like work on writing again. I'm gonna have a couple of people test read it to make sure it's good before I do like the final draft. But I've got that going on. So that's the next Inglewood book finished. We're actually also in concept of that. Let me show you guys the update. Because this is Desort throws in $5. Says, for the Master of Lore episode with no topics, how about you use it to make a suggestion for future Gundam series? I actually have a full video that's planned to do that. So you kind of read my mind. That's something we're going to be talking about. What I was going to show off, is progress on Starshine. Hearing you and voiceover threw you off, make your money. Oh yeah. The stuff that I do for the company I'm working with. Yes. I actually have to finish scripting a video for them this week too. So, but Starshine stuff. Brown, why have you not told me what the Stroik Wars are? Taking forever. Starshine stuff. We are working on what I am calling her godhood costume. Which I have a feeling people will have arguments over which one is better as time goes on. But it is coming out quite nicely. Excuse me. But yeah. This is coming together really well. Basically what we're doing is some of you are aware of the Inglewood Peregrine crossover that was supposed to happen ages ago. It is not happening whatsoever at this point. So effectively what I did was I said, all right, if we're not doing that, I have another character I can throw in there. I threw Starshine in instead. So that book will be coming out. What I have to do is basically I have to get a couple of pages redrawn. Once that's done, new covers, which is going to cost me a pretty penny. But once those are finished, then we can go live with a campaign for it. Hopefully get the money together and then get that into production. Which that book will not be cost as much. The script is pretty short compared to book 2. Let me actually check real quick. I don't remember the size of it. Give me one moment. Because there's... First section was, I think, 24 pages. 22. 22... 48. About 52 pages. So this one we're probably going to only charge about $20 for. So okay, Liam is mad at the AI videos being made of him and wants it to stop or he'll take action. The last time he said those words was when he was declaring strike wars on people who EFAP him. Well, that's the thing. So we start running into what is legally correct and what is the smart thing to do on the internet with that. So let's do... Let me see if I can get in touch with Hatman. Because one thing I'm curious about, Brown, and Hatman's my legal guy, so he would know better than I would. What I'm curious about is whether or not he can actually legally do that, like file DMCAs. Because I'm pretty sure if you're a public figure, you can be ridiculed through AI, and it's completely legal. Okay, Hatman's at dinner. I'm just gonna ask him the question real quick. I'll see when he gets back to me. Okay. So I just sent him the question, so he'll probably send it to me. strike them for bullying and harassment. That's interesting. Well, let's check something real quick, Brown, because that brings up an interesting question. YouTube TOS. Let's see. Bullying. Okay, it doesn't show up there. Bullying policy. Okay. So let's see what this says. YouTube prohibits harassment and cyberbullying, including malicious insults, threats, doxing, or encouraging abusive behavior towards specific individuals. Content targeting private individuals, minors, or groups based on protected attributes such as race, gender, sexual orientation is banned, with strict penalties including content removal, strikes, and channel termination. Here's the official policy. Sorry, there's no dark mode available. Let me zoom in on this. Don't remember if AI videos are in the TOS. Well, it's more like the intent of the AI and what it's meant to do. We don't allow content that targets someone with prolonged insults or slurs based on their physical traits or protected group status. Don't allow other harmful behaviors like threats or doxing. Keep in mind we take a stricter approach on content that targets minors. In some cases, we may make exceptions for content with okay, so that doesn't... None of that's really relevant, like the stuff with minors, because Liam's kids are not involved in this. And I don't really think that anybody who's fucking with him right now would even go that far. Hatman messages me back. He says, I don't think there's precedent for it. But in theory, yes, because you own your own likeness, so you could sue. But there's also an argument to be made that it's fair use under parody. So copyright is sort of in a gray area according to Hatman. So let's see what this says here, what this policy means for you. Don't post content on YouTube if it fits any of the descriptions following below. Content that contains prolonged insults or slurs based on someone's intrinsic attributes. This includes protected group status, physical attributes, or their status as a survivor of sexual assault, non-consensual intimate imagery, distribution, domestic abuse, child abuse, and more. Content uploaded with the intent to shame, deceive, or insult a minor. So, I mean, Liam's not part of a protected group. I don't think that there's videos making fun of him for being fat. At least, unless I missed it. I don't know where that's gonna land, honestly. And I don't want to say too much, because I don't want to give Liam a guide on what he can do. Because he's probably gonna watch this. So, because debates related to high-profile officials or leaders, scripted performances. Yeah, the big thing is like they're looking for like intrinsic elements of him. Well, him being a jackass on the internet is not an intrinsic trait unless he's going to claim that he's retarded, you know? So, see here. Yeah, I don't know. It's up in the air, honestly. I couldn't say one way or another whether or not it would work. Now, when it comes to the unwritten rules of the internet, the simple fact is that the only reason you would want to flag someone for that is you're afraid of what they're saying. In which case, the last time Liam did this, like, I remember a bunch of people turned on him. And I don't think he's in a position where he can do that. He really just needs to learn how to take criticism. Because the simple fact is that if you're on the internet, you're gonna piss people off. It's gonna happen. You're gonna, land on somebody's bad side. Whether it should be that way or it shouldn't be that way. Personally, me digging up the past and being on FFS, he brought that on himself. I was doing nothing to him. I hadn't spoken a fucking word about him for, what did I say, like 3.5 years? And I'm pretty sure that was the accurate date. And he just fucking, like, it's like, why even bring me up? Like, I'm not involved in any of this. Like, why does this matter? And by the way, I know for a fact that guys like Scotsman and others are telling him behind the scenes, Liam, what the fuck are you doing? Threatening these people is only going to make your life worse. So, yeah. FFS equals question mark. Okay, so FFS is a show that I appeared on not too long ago. I had noticed a few months ago in my bi-monthly browsing of the Kiwi farms that these guys had bought some of the Liam bullshit. Some of you remember that stuff, right? Oh, I'm gonna sue you and this, that, and the other. They thought that Liam actually had a lawyer. They thought that Liam had a bunch of resources and stuff like that. They didn't know that was bullshit. So I appeared on the channel after Origin, that's not even a word. After offering to do the history of Liam, because they had some problems with him. So I appeared on what they call CG Comicsgate Church. I will link it in the chat. And in this, I gave the whole history of Liam. And it was basically brought about because, and Brown can testify for this, apparently Liam has been bringing me up pretty regularly for 3.5 years. While I've been over here building my YouTube channel and unfucking my life. We all live rent-free in his head. Yeah, exactly. It's and now, people are finding out about this, and, Lidl has, it wouldn't surprise me if Lidl would want to go on there, too, to tell her side of the story. Because the simple fact is, Liam refuses to get his shit together. And I mean this genuinely. When I heard that Ethan was trying to help him out, I figured, dude, this might actually be the one thing he needs. Because he didn't respect me enough to listen to me, right? He clearly doesn't respect any of his friends, people he calls his friends, enough to listen to them when they tell him to shut the fuck up. Maybe he'll respect Ethan, because Ethan is somebody he really looks up to. Clearly, he doesn't respect Ethan very much either. So, it sucks. It sucks for all parties involved. Yeah, you haven't said a word to or about Liam in years. I know, it doesn't make any sense, RPX. Trust me. And it's we're at a point where I'm turning into the Candyman. Say my name 3 times, I'll show up in your fucking mirror. So, it's one of those things where, all he has to do is shut up. This is something that, just on a personal level, I'm going to be arrogant for him. Every single person that I have gotten into internet fights with, I have left alone until they came for me. Like, I didn't go out of my way to say anything about them. Unless, actually, no, I don't think that, I had to think about it for a second. Like, I'm trying to think of internet personalities I've spoken to. I think actually, no, that's not completely true. When I started commenting on Chibi reviews, he didn't do anything to me personally, but then again, I wasn't really commenting on him as a person at the time. I was talking about him getting a law wrong. But on a, like, personality attack from me to the other person, if anything, you were developing your reputation as Professor Gundam. Pretty much. But I'm trying to think. So there was me and Liam, me and Captain Cummings, because Phil was refusing to move on for whatever reason. And by the way, nothing against Phil. I genuinely hope he's doing better now than he used to be. Last I saw his channel was he had given up trying to do content creation. He was just praying. And I'm like, good. That's what you should do. Pray and focus on work and be a dad. That's it. And I hope he's doing okay. But there was Phil, and then Piper, who she attacked first. And yeah, basically it. And I'm at a point where I'm wondering, why do people do this? Like, it never ends up well for them. Ever. If you go out of your way to attack me, it never goes well. Especially if you are someone associated with me. And from what I have been told by other people, there are still more that are thinking about it. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, how many times do I have to teach you this lesson, old man? Jesus. So, it's one of those things where I genuinely do want the best for people. Just do it away from me. like go the fuck away. Like, our piece has been said. We don't like each other. Go away. Like, just let me exist. That's all I ask. Yeah, Piper does Twitch VTubing streams. Phil does a stream once. And I hope they're doing fine. I'm just not going to interact with them. You know? Piper was actually in the chat of that stream I was in, and she backed up a few things that I said, which surprised the shit out of me. I saw her in there, I'm like, oh, here we go again. But no, that was pleasant. That was nice. Because at the end of the day, even if I have a tiff with somebody, and we have a falling out, I can still be civil with them afterwards, as long as I get to say my piece, you know? And I did. And that was all that needed to be said. So, my whole thing is just I try to be sensible whenever it comes to controversies, and I just try to make good content, you know? And it's that simple. Like, that's basically it, you know? It's like, finding success on the internet is, as long as you have the elements that you need to be successful here, the formula is actually a lot simpler than you would think. Like, if you're charismatic and you've got good energy, you know, and you're passionate about what you're talking about, people will vibe with you. You know, to what degree, I can't say, but people will start to vibe with you. And the more people come in, the more confident that you will get, the better your work will get. I think that the videos I do now are better than what I was doing 3 years ago. So, the anime community is taking a bigger liking to you than you think. Really? Well, that's good to hear. Reddit doesn't like me very much, but Reddit's not worth a whole lot. But yeah. So I genuinely wish, like, if Liam came out and just said, Micah Curtis, I'll leave you alone if you leave me alone. I would agree. Let's do that. That sounds awesome. Good luck on whatever you're doing. Hope you find success. Tell me when you're doing another Xenotype book. I will buy it. Because I liked Xenotype 1 quite a bit. I still have my copy of it. And I'm still gonna, and Liam's probably not gonna be happy that I'm friendly with people he doesn't like. Get over it. You're probably friendly with people I don't like. I don't care. Do whatever you want. It's your own life. Apathy can be your best friend sometimes. Because at the end of the day, sometimes it pays to not care. Like, whatever. See, Reddit is doing the age verification ID process like Discord is. Makes me glad that I look old. Like, there's no way that you can look at my face and be like, yeah, that guy is under the age of 18. Not with hair this gray. Which, and this gray, and yeah. I'm turning into a silver fox, so I'm good. But yeah, I'm not happy about it because cybersecurity these days is a fucking joke. And it makes me feel bad for... I don't mean to insult people who work in cybersecurity. It's just, it feels to me like it is an underinvested in field. I don't know if I'm wording that sentence correctly, but it doesn't get the money and attention that it deserves as a field, so it can be good enough to secure all these things that we need secured. And we have seen so many data breaches, even in like some of the biggest companies on the fucking planet, that should be throwing oodles of money at cybersecurity. And it's like, so how can you trust these people with your data? I remember when there was a data breach at Walmart. I got a massive grocery order sent to my doorstep that was a lot of just fucking cleaning supplies, most of them feminine hygiene products. Now, I got my money back, mind you. And funnily enough, the person who did it also sent me a shit ton of shampoo and a shit ton of body soap. So that stuff I kept, but the rest of it I gave to my female family members. But yeah, companies don't want to pay enough, so all the good ones are independent, working for the government because they pay more than Google, Facebook, etc. See that, and that's sad. That's absolutely sad. Like, if I were the head of Amazon, if I were Jeff Bezos, cybersecurity for me would be huge. Because, you're the biggest company in the fucking world, right? So, it's unfortunate. But yeah, there is a, that sort of thing bugs the shit out of me. On the flip side, I also recently realized that I'm old enough to where I don't get carded at places. So if I ever want to get a cigar and a thing of whiskey, I don't have to worry about my ID. They pay enough, trust me, I confirm I work in tech. I think Brown does too, though. So it might just be two people in the field with differing opinions. But there's a that's sort of like just where we're kind of at. It's unfortunate. But anywho, I'm trying to think of other stuff that I plan on talking about. Talked about comic book stuff. Basically, where I'm sitting right now is just saving money. Because once Inglewood's fulfilled, I want to just start production on a few things. Whenever Preston has time in his schedule, he's going to do 3 nights pages for me. I just have to make sure I've got the money saved. And then I got to find an artist for Project Lazarus. And then Armand and I are going to continue doing concept for the Mecha series I'm doing. I already have an artist lined up for Starshine, and they're still drawing. It's just about, you know, getting the chance to do it. Because that script is... Oh, wait, no, that script is not done. No, wait, it is done, because I submitted that to the Library of Congress. So, yeah. I copyright all the stuff that I do. So, like, the instant the script is done, I'm on the Library of Congress website getting a copy written. But, because they require you to have something of the, like, a proof of the work before you can submit it. But, so I already have, like, the copyrights for Inglewood, The Saint, Project Lazarus, 3 Nights, 4 Days, Starshine. It's just whenever I get the script done for the Argonauts, I'm going to have to get that copywritten as well. But yeah. Oh! I was going to show you. This is a work in progress. I'm going to download it real quick.
What is the...
So this is the Explaining Gundam with Memes that we are working on right now. This is not done, just so you know.
What is the 5 fingers say to the face? What? Slap!
I gotta tell you, it was perfect. Perfect. Everything, down to the last minute details.
Girl, you're thicker than a bowl of oatmeal.
Tonight on To Catch a Predator.
So what's going on here?
I am a super sandwich!
I just think they're neat.
Ugh. Brother, ugh. What's that?
You can't keep getting away with it!
That's what we got so far. I'm pretty proud of that. It's just brother. What is that? And just by the time you're at Sea Destiny, you want to kill yourself. Just, we have an even better one, by the way, that's planned about Seed. But I don't know when we're gonna do it. Regimania renews his membership. Thank you. Because I can already tell it's comedy gold. I'm glad you enjoy it. One thing that we're thinking of doing is The Horror of Gundam Seed, but it's just a parody of my own goddamn series. And it's basically talking about the horrors of being in a series when you're not the writer's pet. So that one will be pretty funny, I think. I like the idea of it, but then again, I'm biased. It's my own fucking idea. So literally me with Wing Zero. I just think it's neat. Yep, pretty much. Will Turn A Gundam eventually be covered? Yes, we're gonna do a Turn A Gundam video at some point. I haven't finished it. Right now I have been so busy with so much stuff that I have just not had the chance to do it. the Horrors of Sedence just having to put up with Flay trying to flirt with you. Yeah, it's like being flirted like with by like the female version of Nick Fuentes. It's like, get the fuck away from me. What meme was used for G Gundam? It's from Team 4 Stars Dragon Ball Z Kai Abridged 2, which does the Namek saga. And there's a part where Goku says, "I am a super sandwich," and then slugs Frieza in the face. And basically what it's going to be is, instead of Goku saying it, it's going to be Domon saying it in the Burning Gundam when it goes super mode, and then he punches Master Asia in the face. Let's see here. But somebody asked me about the Chibi reviews thing. I've mentioned this before, but I'll say it again. I don't know how much of that story is true because he has a tendency to lie about things. I mean, he just said that he did like a 2-hour workout on a Stairmaster, and the picture of him was he had no sweat on him whatsoever. Like, was completely dry. I don't know if you guys have ever been on a Stairmaster. You're sweating within the first minute or two. Like, Stairmaster can be brutal depending the setting you have it on. So, I'm like, So, but my hope is always this. I have been through some bad breakups in my life, and it fucks with you. Being cheated on, he will have trust issues for the rest of his life. The one thing that I hope is that he realizes, though, that if you're in a situation where your girl cheats on you and then your entire friend group says, yeah, we're with the guy who she cheated on with, there might be some you problems if your whole friend group doesn't want anything to do with you anymore. And I don't mean to be mean, but that's a truth, you know? Or maybe you were playing video games with Victor Von Doom. I don't fucking know. But he needs to address himself and his own life and unfuck it. Don't go on Twitter talking about how you want to fuck your sister, you know, and saying you're into incest porn. Don't go on to Twitter and defend fucking pedophiles, you know, like, unfuck yourself. Seriously. So, Chris Nader throws in $4.99. Says, how to piss off Seed fans, tell them their show sucks. How to piss IBO fans, tell them their show is okay. From your experience. Well, is you pissing them off gonna have more people bothering me? Like, what the fuck? That was the weird thing about that. I'm like, wait, what does any of this have to do with me? Swear to God. I get blamed for shit I didn't even do. Thank you for the $5 though. I asked because the internet is flogging Chibi. Well, yeah, he's getting it for the gym photo for obvious reasons. Don't take a photo of yourself at the gym before the workout and then say you did the workout, because then nobody's gonna believe you. You post it afterwards, you know. Yeah, Lolly shit's something people give an eye on for justified reasons. Yeah, exactly. Like that's fucked. Like, no, do not draw images of naked children in sexual positions. What the fuck is wrong with you? So, also the creator of Nier Automata for writing for a new Evangelion. I kind of felt Evangelion was over, to be honest with you. Yoko Taro doing it is interesting because he's the right kind of fucked up to do something interesting with it. because all of his work has that sort of abstract to it that Evangelion has, like that same sort of a style of abstract thinking. The one thing I hope is that if there's going to be people with bigger asses, give it to Misato and not the underage girls. Just saying. Yeah, what can be done with Evangelion? That's the thing. Like, the ending of the films was pretty definitive. You know, like, we got the happy ending in the new movies. In 3.0 plus 1.0. You know? But and then we got the bad ending in End of Evangelion. Geass has 0 cake. Do you know what cake is? Nav, are you being serious? You're fucking with people, right? And yeah, it's not standalone complex. It's actually an adaptation of the original manga. Standalone is basically over. When they did SAC 2045, that pretty much brought an end to like that particular offshoot of Ghost in the Shell. No, we're actually getting the first animated version of the original manga, which is wild. And it's also being done by the same guy who did Devilman Crybaby. So I am in. I am in 100%. Speaking of standalone complex, I was actually watching that here in the office. I have the first and second seasons. 2045 is not currently available on Blu-ray yet, but when it is, I will be picking it up. Ghost in the Shell manga is pretty explicit. Like to see what they can get away with. With the dude who, with Science Saru working on it, I have a feeling that if he gets as much leeway as he did with Devilman Crybaby, I think it'll be pretty explicit. If not, then no. I guess it depends if it's going to be on Japanese television. Because if you look at Devilman Crybaby, which was Netflix exclusive, it is like, we're talking like 90s OVA levels of gore and sex. You know, it was very explicit. But then I think Japan Sinks was actually on Japanese television, and that one's nowhere near as bad from what I understand. I watched the first episode. It was actually too saccharine for me to finish it. But then again, that might be me. Which version of Evangelion do you like? Manga, original, or rebuild? I have never read the manga. I love the original series. I actually have the DVDs of the original dub, along with End of Evangelion. Unironically, Kamsusser Todd is one of my favorite songs. Like, ever. I love the original television series. I love End of Evangelion. It is, it's one of my favorite anime ever. I did like the rebuilds as well, just not as much. Though I really felt like the fourth rebuild movie was really good. It was a lot better than the first three. So that one caught me off guard. knowing Saru is popular with Dandadan, I wouldn't be surprised. I don't think Science Saru is working on Dandadan. I could be wrong. Let's have a look. Oh, never mind, they are. Oh, fuck. Okay. Yeah, the Ghost in the Shell one by Science Saru will not be as explicit as the manga. It's not being produced by Netflix. It's being produced by Kansai TV and Fuji TV. They're not going to let them get that. No. That means it's going to air on Japanese television. So, how far it's going to go, not that far. So, that answers that question. And admittedly, I don't pay attention to Dandadan, so I tried reading the manga, and it's like, we're putting underage characters in sexual situations really, really early. I'm out. I'm done. Not doing it. Other people can watch it if they want to. Not my thing. Eva was one of those I had to sit with for a while and rewatch a few times before I finally got it. Some things just don't click with people. Funnily, like, I was that way with playing Dark Souls here, because you can see it's my current wallpaper. Like, I had to play the beginning of that game 2 or 3 times before it really clicked. And after that, Dark Souls became, like, one of my favorite franchises. How do I fix Gundam Seed? Let's think here. The first one could be fixed by having a lot less moments where they expect you to forget the crazy shit that happened early on. For example, why does Izak get forgiven and his other buddy get forgiven for murdering civilians? Why does that just happen? Why are we expected as the audience to forget that? What else is there? Then there's the whole Hira Yamato dying and then rising from the grave 3 days later. That's a little ridiculous. In fact, the fact that he just teleported into the colony... Oops, sorry about that. The fact that he just teleported into the colony is like, what the fuck? I know they explain it in the Astray manga. Don't fucking care. I never read the Astray manga, so for all I know, he just teleported there. So, it's one of those things where, like, Halo fans say it was explained in the books. I didn't read the fucking books. I don't fucking care. Explain it in the goddamn video game. But, what else is there? And then just the last 10 episodes are the preachiest bullshit. And it's like, I don't like, stop it. Stop it. Stop fucking telling me that all this fighting is worthless when you're solving all your problems by fighting people. Stop it. So fucking inconsistent. That's how I would fix Seed. Like, just in a broad direction. Seed Destiny, I would fix by having Kira die permanently. And, what would I do from there? So yeah, Kira dies permanently when Shin beats him. He's gone for good. I would also have, while she's in space, Lacus gets tracked down by the head of Zafton murdered, finally gets her, and everything works. And then I would have it that someone from Lacus's entourage, maybe have it be Maru Ramius. Somebody got away, basically. Could be Maru, could be someone else. And she manages to find Shin and capture him while he's asleep, and then basically kidnaps him and shows him the truth of what's going on and what Durandal's doing. He and the rest of the people on his ship then decide to take the fight to Zaft instead. And during a big battle between, Lipstick Hitler's forces and that, he comes in, and he kills both leaders. And the end of it is basically he leaves after that to go return to his home nation of Orb. Columbia throws in $5 and yells at me. Says, Micah, new Evangelion, announced by Nier Automata director. Unit 1 looks more biopunk now, holy whoa. We talked a little bit about that. I don't remember there being any images from it. Hold on a second. Okay. First report video is here. Let's have a look. AJ the Groundhog throws in $2. I'm more of a Mari guy. She was nice to Shinji. Well, I like Misato because she's legal. Okay, so we have a violin. Let's speed this up a little bit. Now we have a piano. That's nice. A cello. Gundam G-Quux. I guess this is just the announcement. Oh. So that's EVA Unit 1. Yeah, definitely looking much more biological. Unless this is in its berserk state. The text on screen during the violin solo with the water pattern translates to Eternal Summer Vacation, this is our paradise, this is our graveyard. All I can hear is the song of hellish sins. The cutaways to black between shots are credits for music, the writing, and then the two directors. The text overlay over the wide shot translates to Evangelion, complete new series, starts production. The last frames, back to the water, translate to May his soul rest in peace. That sounds really dark. I'm in. I'm sold. You got me. Not being sarcastic either. Like, you've got me. I'm in. I'm hooked. Give me big booty Misato and a dark as fuck story, Yoko Taro, and I'm in. I'm your guy. I'm Yoko Taro's top guy. To reference Sam Hyde. Oh man. But holy shit, dude. Okay. Yeah, I'm in. So yeah, some people are saying it looks like an alien. It kind of looks like an Elite a little bit. It just doesn't have the quad jaws. Doesn't have the mandibles. Also, if that's new music, that sounded like the same dude that he has for the Nier games. In which case, you know the music's gonna be fucking top notch. Because I have never beaten a Nier game. I own Nier Automata. Never finished it. But the music is beautiful. So, yeah, I'm in. I'm sold. Speaking of sold, here's a question for you, chat. How many of you heard of a game coming out called Replaced? Show of hands. Give me the 07s or give me just the hand emoji. How many of you guys have heard of it? What if the old characters don't come back and we follow new characters? I'm still in. Though I'm going to be missing Misato, but, you know, G-Quck's director is involved naturally. I don't know about that. I mean, he did work on the original Evangelion, but I just didn't like G-Quck's. Okay, so Leo has heard of it. I'm gonna play a trailer for you guys. It'll pause. And Dusort, the guy who's the director of G-Quck's, you're thinking of Hideaki Anno. Anno did not direct G-Quck's. He only wrote it. All right, so Ace has heard of it. Let's have a look at this trailer, because this might be one of the best video game trailers I've ever seen in my life. Check this shit out. I'll mute myself real quick. I just want you all to know on March 12th, don't try contacting me. Yeah, that's legitimately one of the best video game trailers I've ever seen in my lifetime. Like, that's really good. Like, let's I'm gonna mute this real quick. Just the composition of it is very good. I'm moving this real quick because my phone just buzzed and I don't know where it is. And I'm curious if the text or whatever I just got is in. Sorry. Really need to vacuum my floor. Like crumbs and stuff on it. It's bothering me. I don't know where I put my phone. Huh. Well, whatever. Okay, but like the fucking composition of this trailer. First off, the composer of the music, they've already got the 3 songs that they've like released from the soundtrack. They're already on Spotify. This particular song is called Dusk. The drums come in like at the perfect moment. Like whoever's composing this is very good at what they do. And I read their name and I'd never heard of them. I'm like, holy shit. But some of these shots in this are so well composed that it's just like they have a great understanding of lighting and like storytelling just through imagery. Also, I love that this is a 2D platformer and they're doing the SNES thing of what at the time we called Mode 7 by having stuff fall into the foreground. The lighting is incredible, and just one thing about it that they're really doing well is you'll notice the blur if you look really close as the camera moves. Like the foreground elements will blur properly how you would expect them to, and they're really good at figuring out how to get your eye moving towards certain elements. Like this shot here, you see your character here, but he starts to blur out, so your eye will naturally look for what's more detailed. And what you'll see here is the left side of it has become more detailed. So this is Welcome to Phoenix City of Future. Or something, City of Pho. But your eye immediately notices this and the busted up fucking road and all this other stuff. I'm curious as to what engine they're doing this in, because they clearly took a lot of time with the lighting to really set the mood properly, and specifically the color of it. Because these parts here are in the demo, because the demo is out now. This is just a beautiful looking sort of sunset color, and it lets you see just enough. You know, you're seeing just enough of the buildings to kind of see the detail on them. And then you start moving through, like everything is dilapidated. It's obvious that these buildings haven't been traveled in for probably years, if not more. And then we get to more populated areas, and it has this very grungy cyberpunk vibe where this is clearly like an old diner or something. They've managed to get old POS pieces of electronics working again somehow. You have a fucking they've clearly taken a jukebox and wired it to different speakers. People are dressed like it's the 1980s. This lady clearly has a bionic limb and other stuff. This right here, there's a level of tenderness in the body language between that just that alone. How slowly he walks up to her and then they grab hands. You can tell they're in love with each other. So, and then like this, if this wasn't a dead giveaway that you're in a cyberpunk universe, I don't know what is. Also, there's a very good boy here. It's always plus. But this shot right here, going back. That's a good shot too. Like, look at the lighting. Again, they're letting you see just enough. Whoever is in charge of this game really had an idea of how much is too much and stuff like that. Look at that composition. This reminds me of Ergo Proxy. I don't know if you guys have seen that anime or not. That's what this reminds me of. This reminds me a lot of that. Sort of like how Ergo Proxy played a lot with lighting, different light colors to invoke different emotions. Like that's just a gorgeous shot, and we're not even seeing all of the city. Also, I really love the look of the gangsters here. They call them vultures, and I just like what this kind of reminds me of. This is a game that you guys probably have not played. There's a game called Mother Russia Bleeds. It's a beat 'em up. Where you take steroids. It's great. But this reminds me a lot of that sort of imagery of like dystopian cyberpunk. And like the eyes and the goggles. These guys, like, they look emaciated when you look at their bodies, and they're obviously extremely pale. Like, and then of course you got like the big guy in the center looks like a fucking mutant. And then here we have the takedowns. In the demo, I'll like, if people want, I will play the demo on stream. But the gameplay is a lot like Arkham. Like the Arkham games, just on a 2D plane. So these are the takedowns that they're showing off there. This shot right here is incredible. Let's go to the front of it. I'm going to play it in slow motion. This is like something out of Metal Gear. Like that right there, it tells you so much without saying a word. You just can tell whoever's coming out of that fire is a massive threat. You can tell that by their posture. You can tell that by the body language of your character. You can tell it by the fact that they're walking through flames. The lighting is great, plus the blur. You don't really see much of them outside of a silhouette. You can make out some details, but not that many. He's clearly bald. He has a cape, you know, but he's clearly a big deal. It feels like death is coming for you, is the emotion that comes from this. That's a brilliant shot. Like, I don't know. I want to interview these guys. Because I want to know who was in charge of this. I don't know if you can call it cinematography in a video game, but it's basically what it is cinematography. Whoever was in charge of it, if they have never worked on a film before, like an indie film or something like that, I would be shocked. Because, Jesus, this is really well done. So we go forward. This is another great shot. This kind of invokes kind of Frank Miller in a lot of ways, like the Dark Knight The Dark Knight Returns. The mutant gangs. You guys know the one I'm talking about. Kind of gives me vibes of that with that kind of a shot. Again, I love the gangster designs. This scene right here, that, again, saying nothing while saying everything. There's a lot of emotion here. You have a mother crying and you're bringing her baby to her. This is great for a trailer because you don't know the context, but you're thinking, is the kid dead? Is the kid alive? Why does everyone look this way? Why does this feel like I'm at a wake? Did I fail? Did I succeed? What happened? And the addition of the music makes it just that much more impactful. Because this is in this particular section, there's a lyric talking about saving your own soul. Really makes you wonder what's going on here. And they do a great job of switching right here to a physical struggle where the camera is shaking and there's clearly a lot of intensity. You're about to get shoved off of a railing. And then they bring it down a little bit to just kind of give you an idea of the scale of what's going on as you're climbing through this city. And then they keep bringing it down. They bring you down just a little bit, but with enough tension. So you're hiding behind a car. There's bullets flying. And they're just building the world for you. It's really hard to tell what's happening. But you can tell that it's just emotionally tense. And I love how here they match it with the lyric of the fear of letting go. And they show you a situation where if you let go, you're going to die. So, and then just the instrumentality right here with this shot. This looks like something straight out of The Fugitive, the Harrison Ford, Tommy Lee Jones movie. But I love the cyberpunk style hovering cop car in the background. It really builds a lot of tension. It's so well put together. And this right here is from the demo. This game is going to be special. Like, this game is going to be special. And I don't mean to repeat myself. It's just, there's something about it that just is hitting hard. So, yeah, I'm all in on this. I'm all in. All the fuck in. So yeah, mid-March, don't try to get in touch with me if you work with me. I am going to be gone. I'm going to be playing the fuck out of this. I might stream it, oddly enough. I might stream it. Because on Friday, this coming Friday, we have Resident Evil Requiem, which I do plan on streaming. But in the meantime, but 2 weeks after that, this game comes out. They haven't released it for sale yet, but once they do, I'm buying it immediately. Because this looks phenomenal. And I will probably buy the soundtrack, because it sounds phenomenal. And yeah, it's something special, I think. I think this is going to be special. I just get that vibe, you know? What do I think about Dragon Ball GT? I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. It was kind of, it had really bad pacing. And I never liked the look of the Super Saiyan 4 transformation either. It just didn't really, GT didn't grab me. What are your thoughts on Netflix making a Doom Guy anime? Is that actually a thing? Because it's going to come down to, no matter who makes it, it's going to come down to the director and the writer. Because you can do Doom Guy interacting with characters, but Doom is kind of meant from the jump to be an interactive experience 100%, and you're moving it into a non-interactive medium. There are rumors. There's rumors about everything, though. So it's one of those things, it would actually be harder to make cool than people would think. Friend sent me something about Fortnite doing something with Gundam. They already did, I thought. I could have swore that there's a Gundam in there. I mean, there's Gundams in Call of Duty. It wouldn't surprise me if there's one in Fortnite. Easy money, you know? And if they do it, they're probably doing it to try to get more people from Japan to play Fortnite. That sort of stuff doesn't bother me like it does other people. I don't particularly care for Fortnite. I don't particularly care for Call of Duty. I haven't played all the way through a Call of Duty game since Black Ops 3. That was a while ago. What do you think a collab between 40K and Gundam would be like? Not very good. I don't think the two universes really mesh that well. Gundam crossing over with anything science fiction would just be kind of weird. Unless it's another mecha series, you know? Not entirely convinced Doom works as anything besides a video game. That's sort of where I sit, Mata. Like, well, first off, we've had 2 Doom movies. Neither of them were good. You can have a story with Doom. Like, the story in Doom the Dark Ages was fun, but it was minimalistic. You know, it wasn't super complicated. And it's largely carried by the gameplay. You can't really, like, moving it into a non-interactive medium immediately causes problems. Because what are you going to do? Like, the action is going to have to be heavy every single episode to fit the tone properly, and it's going to have to be so well put together and so meticulously storyboarded that I don't know if a lot of animators would really want to deal with it. So yeah. Because the Black Star Saga on Super 17. No, I just, the whole show didn't vibe with me. Like, I never really... It's the only, like... Well, no, I can't say that. Like, I really liked the original Dragon Ball. I really liked Dragon Ball Z. And GT and Super both are shows where I would skip entire episodes and feel like I missed nothing. So... like a Gundam strategy game where group you pick, you can build your own army in the Gundam franchise. The way people have described the BattleTech strategy game, the one that's available on PC, is sort of like what I would like to do with Gundam, like when it comes to strategy titles. But really, for me, I just want a Gundam that has similar gameplay to Armored Core 6. You know? Because the team that worked on Armored Core did a Gundam game. They did the Gundam Unicorn game. And apparently it's pretty good. It's just stupidly short. So... my biggest issue is just that, like, with Gundam, they haven't really... they haven't really done a good fast-paced action series with Mobile Suit Gundam. There's ones that are slower paced that are kind of fun, but I wouldn't necessarily say that they're like definitive. Like, I love Federation versus Xeon, but it's pretty slow gameplay. You know, it doesn't really reflect what Mobile Suit Combat's like. Same thing with Encounters in Space and stuff like that. It just doesn't really nail it. Battle Operation 2 feels like Igloo the game. So it doesn't really quite vibe with me either. Plus, I just hate gacha. Hate it. Hate it, I hate it, I hate it. Goodness. Well, Been going for an hour and a half. Oh, that's right. Tech Marine comes out tomorrow? Thursday, 2 days from now. I'm looking forward to that. Like, Thursday and Friday, I'm not available. Thursday and Friday, the world needs to leave me alone. So, I will be busy. Busy, 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 busy. Just a moment. Let's check a couple of things. Okay. I'm checking the new arrivals for USA Gundam Store. I really wish that this was not as expensive as it is. Thoughts on Naruto? I hate it. Fucking sucks. Stream it? I don't think I'm going to stream the Tech Marine, but I will definitely be streaming the new Resident Evil. This, however... Why is this $100? Why? In this economy? Come on. Someday. Someday I will get my hands on Rex and Ray. Because the Rex is a lot less expensive. It's only 77. No, it's $80. But someday I will have my hands on both. I'm a massive Metal Gear fan. I'm especially happy that fucking Metal Gear Solid 4 is coming out on PC. Finally. I've been waiting for a decade. You know? Death Gundam Evolution? You mean the Death of Gundam Evolution? The game? I don't know what you mean there. Also, this is a thing. Do I recommend Crossbone Gundam? Yes, 1,000 times over. I'm going to leave this here for a minute. Just in case there's any Flesh Terrorist fans in here. So... Let me think here. What was I going to say? Oh, Gundam Evolution dying. I was bummed out because that game's fun. But they also did some things that, in my opinion, are the reason that it didn't catch on. A lot of it was because the opening roster for the mobile suits sucked. It was not good. Like, let me pull this up. So, let me pull up the Wikipedia. Doesn't have it. Awesome. Okay. Gundam Evolution. roster. So, and then I'll answer the thing about my favorite chapters here in a second. So here was the roster. You have the Gundam and the Zaku 2. Fine and dandy. Everybody knows what those are. You have the Sazabe. A lot of people know what the Sazabe is, because Char's Counterattack did air here in the United States. Because here's the thing. Any video game that you make, wherever you are in the world, your biggest audiences are going to be in two places. United States and China. So if one of those places doesn't know what the fuck is going on, you're going to lose them. Especially when it comes to Gundam. But people know what the Sazabe is, because that, Char's Counterattack aired over here. The Gym Sniper 2, very popular mobile suit. The Dom Trooper. Most people know what the Dom is. Gun Tank, same thing. Pale Rider. Nobody knows what the fucking Pale Rider is. I know what the Pale Rider is. Most of you guys know what the Pale Rider is. We're super nerds. We know too much about Gundam. So we know what the Pale Rider is. Does the guy who watched Gundam 15 years ago on Adult Swim know what the Pale Rider is? No. Gundam Barbatos. People know what that is. The Methus. Nobody knows what the fuck it is because Zeta didn't come over here in the States and it was only available to stream within the last, year. Before this game came out. Or after this game came out and failed. The Ashmar. Same problem. The Tournay Gundam. Same problem. The Gym, everybody knows what the Gym is. Gundam Exia. People know what that is because 00 aired over here. The Marasai. It's the unicorn version. They might be familiar with it. Melee Zaku 2, which is just Dozel's Zaku 2. It's a Zaku 2, so you're fine. The Mairu. Nobody fucking knows what it is. Those were all the launch mobile suits. Notice how most of them, nobody knew what the fuck they were. Nobody fucking knew. So it's like, well, the Methus was not launched. Yes, it was. Never mind. But yeah, this is a fucking ton of units. Nobody knows the fuck they are. All the ones that people knew came after. The Unicorn, the new Gundam, the Heavy Arms, the Dynamis, and I'll just say this right now. If I were the one behind this game, I would have said the vast majority of mobile suits that we are putting out there are ones that people are going to know. We're putting stuff out there from the original show, Char's Counterattack, 00, IBO, and Wing. Those 5 are what we're pulling from, and that alone. Not pulling from anything else. There's just stuff in here. It's nobody fucking knows what the Hyperion Gundam is. The Susanoo is gay. Why is the Susanoo in there? Get the Death Scythe in there. What the fuck is wrong with you? Their final mobile suit was the Kampfer. Nobody knew what the Kampfer was. The Kampfer was the mobile suit that got blown up in an OVA that not a lot of people watched when it came out. Because the 0080, I think they aired it once on Adult Swim. I don't think it ever got re-aired. Fucking shit, dude. What are you guys doing? But that's the problem, is they made this for a purely Japanese audience when most of the shooter fans on the planet are all in the United States. I don't know what they were thinking. So that's what I think about it dying. They kind of brought it on themselves. Whoever is behind the Gundam division of video games at Bandai is fucking clueless. to what's going on. They are fucking clueless to what's really going to sell. So they have resorted to the Japanese staple of turning everything into gacha. And it sucks. Not happy about it. Any good indie comics to read if you're tired of the big two? I mean, I've got a couple from my own stuff on Amazon. I have one called Inglewood and another one called 3 Nights, 4 Days, if you want to check that out. Other than that, I haven't been following much of the indie scene lately. Most of the stuff I would recommend is stuff that's been around for a while, like Invincible, reading that run. Invincible is one of the best comic books ever written. At least we had GBO2 still solid. I don't like GBO2. Again, I don't like gacha games. I've never really liked gacha games. Like, it plays all right, but it doesn't... It has big-time lag issues, and on PC, it has big-time cheater issues. So, fuck that noise. It's just one of those things I maintain right now, is that Bandai and Gundam are having an identity crisis. Luther Strode is another good one. The Luther Strode books are really, really good. Gundam Breaker 4. That's more of a Gunpla game than it is a Gundam game. There's no Gundam story in it. It's about people smashing model kits together. But somebody asked me my favorite Space Marine chapters. Top 5 would easily be the Salamanders, the Raven Guard, Space Wolves, the Black Templars, and the Carcharodons. Then after that, it would be the Crimson Fists, the Lamenters, the Ultramarines, the Blood Angels, and then the White Scars would be. That's my top 10. Last Gundam S game I played was Another Century's episode 1 through 3. Yeah. It's just one of those things where I don't really feel like Gundam has ever reached its potential in video games, and I don't think they're interested in it. For whatever reason. It's unfortunate. In my opinion, it needs its own Space Marine in the video game realm. But it's just never hit it, you know? But then again, they probably don't prioritize it because Gundam is something that, like, most of their money is made off the hobby, off of Gunpla. You know, like, that's what drove them to being what they are now, is Gunpla sales during the pandemic. Like, the Gunpla sales during the pandemic literally turned Gundam into the biggest anime franchise on the fucking planet. Like, it became more profitable than Dragon Ball, which is saying something. Now, I don't know if that's going to stick, mind you. But we'll have to see what happens. I think that whenever, because they're about to do the Moro saga with Dragon Ball Super, right? So if that hits the way everybody tells me, because everybody tells me the Moro saga is incredible. If that hits in the anime, Dragon Ball might make a pretty big comeback. Dynasty Warriors? The Dynasty Warriors Gundam games are fun, but they're Dynasty Warriors games, you know? Gundam needs a narrative-driven, fun video game. Like what Space Marine was for Warhammer 40K. That's what I think would really hit properly. If you're wondering what I'm playing with, it's my earpods. Part of how I actually get myself to fall asleep. They're gassing it up. Dragon Ball's been living off its legacy for decades. Well, I mean, Z was good. Z was a lot of fun. Still to this day, like, every once in a while I will catch myself firing up a few episodes of Z that I really like. That anime hit. Like, it knew what it was doing. You stopped after the Boo Saga? Well, the Boo Saga was the end of Z, but yeah. Yeah, a lot of people, like, they tried out Super, but the problem with Super was the anime was geared at a much younger audience than the people who had, like, come up watching Dragon Ball, you know, through Z specifically, you know, and it just didn't hit the same, because Z had a lot of intense moments in it, and a lot of that was missing with Super. Like, Super's very lighthearted, you know, in comparison. Part of me wants to say that, like, its tone is more like the original Dragon Ball, but even then that wouldn't be true, because the original Dragon Ball had its moments too. Look at the Piccolo saga, you know? People are getting their necks snapped and decapitated and all this other shit. Piccolo, like, King Piccolo dies by having a giant child-shaped hole blown through him. You know? Super didn't really have a whole lot like that. Not that I remember. Well, Vegeta got impaled by Goku Black. And then Zamasu got cut in half. But a lot of, like, the intensity that series had prior to that was just kind of gone. But yeah, that's my 2 cents on it. Well, that sort of stuff, my Russian friend, doesn't really bother me. I don't give a fuck about power scaling. Like, it's all about how well the story's being told. You know? Goku's ability to be hit in the face with a tank doesn't really matter. Or, like, whether or not he can die to a sniper bullet, I don't fucking care. Like, when I'm sitting and watching, you know, a show, I'm not beating off to how powerful I think the person is. I'm watching it because I am intrigued by whatever the plot is. And the problem with that sort of thing, the problem with Super was it just felt too silly. You know, it spent too much time goofing off and not enough time telling a serious martial arts story like Z did. And even Z was more like superhero fights than it really was martial arts. Because to be honest, Dragon Ball hasn't been a martial arts series in a long time. But yeah, like, I don't give a fuck about power scaling. I just want a good story. And I don't really feel like Super really did that. Though the Broly movie was really good. I really liked that. Big fan of Tolina's comic. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Nuker. I'm the editor on that. Have you considered working on a comic that's my own mecha series? Yes, I have one in development. I actually do have one in development. So It is getting done. Somebody had asked me about something else. What I think about Hokuto no Ken. I love Fist of the North Star. Oh, Helldivers. No, I don't play it anymore. Doesn't really interest me at this point. It was fun at first, but it just kind of... I kind of feel like there's nothing to do if I don't buy a new war bond. It's like, but I don't want to spend money on this. Like, I already spent $40 on it. And then, like, the war bonds don't really look that interesting. So it's like, I just don't care about it. Somebody had mentioned any comics, though. I'm trying to think. Where were we at with the we have the cover. If somebody was asking about indie comics, this is one of mine. That's the cover to book 2, which is getting worked on. Here's the cover to book 1. Gorgeous artwork, isn't it? Just so good. So fucking good. We really, like, something about this book. I don't know what it is that we were on when we did it, but it just came out so well. I feel like just the combination of elements. Right guys at the right time, you know? Granted, I think we can reduplicate this. I really do. Horrifying book, though, obviously. Here's another good one. Without giving the story away. I love this page. Opinion on Jormungand? It's a very big snake. You're talking about the anime I haven't watched. It's on my list. Where is the Now They Know Fear? Oh, it's this one. Let's see if I can find the letters for that. Yeah, here's the letters for it. I didn't have to put a lot of dialogue in that. You know? I didn't really have to. And that's the thing about the medium. Because all this is like, Preston nailed exactly the vibe that I was looking for when I scripted it. He was basically reading my mind. I wanted them to realize what was in front of them. You know, like, the story is that these cultists, backed up by demons, are raiding all of these villages. They've never had any pushback. They're finally facing another military, but they're still in this trance where they're laughing as they're fighting, like they don't give a shit. Something finally happens in front of them to realize, oh fuck, we're going to die. And it's someone just getting squashed by a maul like that. And just turned into paste. Now they're scared. They're like, oh, fuck. And I just love how Dietrich here is just marching over bodies. Like, it's so good. It's so fucking good, man. Oh, I love how it came out. Like, there's just some fucking... Oh, I'm going to show the following pages. There's just such great intensity. This is what comics are all about. You don't need a ton of dialogue. You can just put in good storytelling. You can just put in cool imagery. You can just have sequences of events. Just have good action. Like this shot right here, where the hand comes back, the axe goes forward, fingers are flying towards the reader. John recovers, jumps up, lops the top of the fucking thing's head off. Ah! My God. It just came out so great. I love making comics. Love making comics. You like the look of that, by the way? The second book is still on Indiegogo. I'm going to throw the link in the chat real quick. So if you have not backed it, please do. It'll keep the campaign up. It's so wild, like, every once in a while, it's like every few months, somebody will stumble on that campaign and back it, even though there's been no movement on it whatsoever. Good to get back in the flow of things, you know? Always good. All right, guys. I think that's it for me tonight. I'm going to try to get a little bit more work done before bed. And find wherever the fuck my phone went. Figure out what I'm getting buzzed about. So, fun times all around. We will be back on Friday for Resident Evil. The instant that comes up, I am streaming. So, that will be awesome. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. And, yeah. Have yourselves a great rest of your evening.